and welcome to Auto Today. My name is Dipayan and you're joining me today in Bangalore as we test ride this. This is the pre-production version of the Simple One, and the headlines for this scooter are that it is India's fastest electric scooter, or otherwise for that matter, and it is the electric two-wheeler with the longest range. Now it is a sharp looking scooter, so let's not waste any more time and jump straight into our review to see what the Simple One really has on offer. Now, the perfect place to start our review, of course, is the design. But before we get into the design, a quick disclaimer that this is still a pre-production prototype. So a lot of the build quality issues and the panel gaps that you see on this scooter are expected to be fixed by the time the scooter goes into production. And we'll come back to you, of course, with a full-scale review once we have the scooter in production form. For now, just let's take a quick look around the scooter and see what it offers and, of course, what the design is like. And we'll tell you a little story about the design inspiration as well. So we'll start our review at the front. Now, of course, this front fascia is very sharp. The story about the design inspiration for the scooter is a better place to start. Of course, the design inspiration is a native Indian bird called the paradise flycatcher, and that is where you get a lot of these sharp contours and lines. One of my favorite features is this little chin on the front fascia that really adds some character to the front of the scooter. Of course, you have all LED lighting. This is your LED headlamp. You get LED indicators on the side. You also get a functional winglet on the indicators that work to channel the air that's flowing around the scooter to give you the best coefficient of drag. You also get LED DRLs mounted in the top fascia. And altogether, I say, I've seen the scooter at night and it looks pretty incredible. Now moving up to the fascia, of course, you get these two little elements over here that again indicate the forward flowing stance of the scooter, and I think it looks pretty cool. Now moving on to the dashboard, of course, switch gear and quality of buttons is something that will be resolved once it reaches production type. For now, this is the toggle. You have your 7-inch screen here that displays a Map My India and is an Android-based screen. Moving to the center of the scooter, in the floorboard is where you have your primary battery, the 3.3 kilowatt-hour battery. The secondary battery is stored under the seat, and that is a swappable battery. This is to ensure that even if you are not accessible to charging infrastructure, you can still pull out the battery, take it to a normal plug point and charge it quickly. Aside from that, let's take a quick look at the storage under the seat. The seat itself, as you can see, is pretty wide and has enough space for both rider and pillion, and it's pretty comfortable as well. It has a nice balance of firmness and softness, so it'll be nice to ride over a long period of time. Now getting to the under-seat storage, it is a pretty large under-seat storage. As you can see, the headlines are that it fits a full-size helmet, including a secondary battery, and I think that is pretty cool. Now at the rear, of course, the most vital element is your tail lamps, which are boomerang shaped and LEDs, and I think they look pretty cool. Now when it comes to this grab rail, I think it's my favorite feature about the rear section of the scooter, and I've heard that this particular unit was so difficult for the designers to integrate, and 200 prototypes of just this grab rail were made before it was approved. The twin split design that you can see is a tip of the hat to their design inspiration, which was the Paradise Flycatcher, if you remember. And like the Flycatcher, which has a kind of a split tail, this also gives the scooter that effect. Now the rest of it is pretty clean, and there are a few sharp elements, of course, to remind you of the sharp design theme, but otherwise I think it is a pretty good looking scooter. Now let's take a quick look at the mechanicals before we jump onto the scooter and take it out for a ride. Now the Simple One gets 12-inch tires at both ends, 90 section, and of course disc brakes at both ends, 200mm discs at both ends by brake. Another really cool element is this swing arm, which is a die-cast swing arm and attaches to the rest of the tubular frame. The battery as well is a stressed member, and that is something that really contributes to the centralization of the mass. The motor, as you can see, is housed right under the body and concentrates all of that mass into the center, and that should contribute to a really rewarding ride experience and a really stable ride. So let's not waste any more time. Gear up, jump in the rider's seat and see what this scooter is all about. Finally, onto the Powertrain. The Simple makes 4.5 kilowatts of standard output with peak output at 8.5 kilowatts. When you add in the fact that the one tips the scales at only 115 kilos, you get a sense of how they are claiming to be India's quickest scooter, electric or otherwise. In sonic mode, the e-scooter will go from 0 to 40 in a pretty quick 2.77 seconds and go all the way to a top speed of 105 kilometers an hour. What is interesting is the fact that even in full sonic mode, you get a true range of 85 kilometers, which is saying something. In full eco mode, you should get a maximum range of 200 kilometers, and the range goes down through the modes Ride, Dash and Sonic. What stands out to me is the fact that you can use any of the modes for a full day's use within city limits. What's more is that the Simple One charges its battery packs, that is both the batteries, the floor mounted as well as the secondary battery, in a matter of 4 hours from a 15 amp circuit, and that I think will be a game changer. Let's not forget that the secondary battery pack can be removed and charged from wherever you need in case there is no infrastructure from where you're at, and this is going to be crucial for the ease of use case of the Simple One, which means that you can go somewhere where there's no charge, run out of charge, actually pick out the battery, go get some charge, put it back in and be ready to go again. Well, we spent the better part of today getting to know the Simple One, and prima facie, this is what we know. It is India's fastest scooter, not just electric but ICE included as well. It has the largest battery pack among electric scooters. It has the most powerful motor. The thing you're probably wondering about is what it's going to cost you. Well, Simple One have set a target of 1.1 lakh rupees after FAME 1 subsidies. Of course, this will mean that depending on where you stay, prices are likely to be lower depending on what subsidies your state government is offering for electric vehicles. But of course, we'll get more information on this closer to the launch. And that means if they get the build quality issues under check, and of course they manage to keep this price point, I think that this will be one of the strongest contenders in the two-wheel space when it comes to electric vehicles. And I see the Simple One being a very, very popular electric scooter, and I think that is going to draw in a lot of customers across the price brand. Whether you're looking for a scooter with long range or you're looking for a quick scooter, the Simple One has it for you. That's it from us. This is Didi signing off.